All set, let's go. Welcome to Mental Health Monday. And we have so much to cover over the next couple weeks, but our topic for today is parent well, not perfect. Ooh, yeah, we're going to go deep there. But before we do, let me make sure I introduce myself to you. I am Kene Corder, National Certified Counselor, also known as Billionaire Therapist. And my goal, my target, my wish is that we get to connect and you see what a self sync session might be like and why mental health is so important and also why healing is not as hard as you think. And this is one of the things we try to accomplish here on this, one of the things we accomplish here on Mental Health Monday. See how I changed my language? That's something I also help my clients, members do when they are in a self sync session with me. But let's talk about how to parent well, not perfect, because many parents feel like they're failing as a parent. And let me tell you, over my years, I've spent my entire career listening to people tell me stories about how their parents ruined their lives or why they are the way they are because of their parents. Once I had someone, not necessarily a patient, actually, she was another therapist who was working with us, another counselor, and she told the story, or she was telling the story that her parents were both narcissists and that they were the reason why she is who she is today and doesn't feel like she's loved and doesn't know her self-worth and all these things. Well, here's an uncomfortable truth that will be uncomfortable for both children and parents, but children choose parents. Parents don't choose children. And I know this is too deep and very woo woo, and we're not about to go there today. Today is not about metaphysics. Today is more about practicality. But I just want to drop a little metaphysics on you. But children choose parents. When you are deciding to come to this earth, you decide what you want to experience. And based on that experience, the universe conjures up the best parents for you to have that experience, whatever it is you want to learn, whatever it is you want to overcome, go through, accomplish. You will do that based on the parents you have. So children choose parents. Parents don't choose children. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, there's another little foundational thing that I think you should know. Parents, if you do feel like you're failing, if you don't feel like you're successful or that you are parenting well, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. It is society's fault. Society makes you think that there is some perfect parent, but there is not. The perfect parent is the exact parent that the child came to this world to experience. That is the perfect parent. So even if you are a very high expectation parent and you force these expectations on your children, well, that doesn't make you a bad parent. It makes you the parent that that child wants to experience. And maybe that child wanted to go against those high expectations this time because last time they came to the earth, they were way too high achieving and they were like, it's not about that, it's about the meaning of life, and this time I want to experience something different. Now this doesn't mean you believe what I believe. This I'm giving you this information so that you understand that that child is experiencing something. They came with a desire to experience it, and you are giving it to them. And that is what's important. And as you're giving it to them, you're also learning yourself. You're getting more clarity as to what you want to experience in life because you came to this earth wanting to experience something as well. And so as you have your experience, you're honing and shaping and growing yourself daily. And you're going to be able to do that based on the children that choose you. So it's not your fault if you feel like you're failing as a parent because society has set you up to believe that there is some perfect parent. And apparently, this perfect parent, like, bakes cookies as if cookies are even healthy, right? This parent is at every PTA or PT whatever meeting at every game, soccer game, football game, volleyball game, all the games. This parent is wakes them up with warm clothes and tucks them into bed every night. And this parent never gets upset and it's just, and dresses impeccably. Let's not forget that. And their hair is just like no hair out of place. And they're just darlings. Well, that's just not a thing. It's not a thing. And don't you let it become a thing. You be yourself. And parenting well is all about these three things that I'm about to show you because they're essential to getting to the version or the relationship you want to have with your child. And remember, each child is different. So these three essential steps that I'm going to give you, they are actually going to play out differently with each child. So this is a piece of information. Take it how you want it, how you want to, but stop comparing your children to each other because all you're doing is doing what society did to you. So stop doing that. Stop saying, well, so and so did it this way, or my oldest does this and my youngest does that. It's like it doesn't matter. They're two different kids. They're not going to grow the same. They're not going to talk the same. They're not going to want the same things. So just let that go and do this first thing. This first thing is so crucial. And it sounds simple to be curious, but I find it to be one of the hardest things for parents to do, including myself as a parent. Being curious can be so very difficult, but it is my favorite step in our Control the Controllable series. And Control the Controllable is all about gaining control by letting go, and that is what being curious is. You're curious, meaning you let go of expectations and making them how you want them to be, but you're getting to know them. Well, what does it feel like when somebody is curious about you, when they just want to get to know you? That curiosity feels like love. Yeah. Something about that curiosity raises your vibration. Just imagine what it will do for your children. And sometimes you do that when they're little, but then you stop at a certain point. You stop being curious and you start mm, directing them. You start molding and modeling them. This is what you need to be. I'm making my model child. No, 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 no. Be curious. Be curious. And that takes me to number two, because if you can be curious, then the next thing you're going to do is be active. Because in being curious, they're going to tell you who they are, what they like, what they want, what they would like to experience. And when they tell you what they like to experience, then you become an active participant in that experience. And what does that mean? So let's say they're not that into school. So what can you do to help them understand when it is important to attend and what it is important to get out of school? Because let's face it, I'm about to blow your mind. Are you ready? Okay. So going to a building and sitting in a room and even moving from room to room for hours and hours and hours, listening to somebody talk to you about subjects that you're not that interested in, and that you're not even sure how they apply to life. And somewhere in there, you're going to eat some food that's not going to be all that great. And then you're going to talk to some kids that you're not even sure if they like you or not. And you're not sure if you like them a lot. Am I describing something that sounds like awesome and amazing? Hell no. So if you're wondering why your kids don't want to go to school, whether it's kindergarten or senior year, it's because this experience is not fun for them. So being an active participant is helping them move through that, not pretending like that shit ain't hard. And I'm sorry I had to use that language, but I had to, So you understand. School is hard. It is hard to sit still when you're 6 years old and all you want to do is play. The woman or the man teaching that class couldn't barely do it. So how do they expect 26-year-olds to sit still? And then they get a little older and you want them to be even more still and even more quiet. But the more they learn, the more they want to talk about what they learned. And they're curious about their friends. And they're curious about the teacher. You know how you always wanted to know your teacher's first name? Like, and when you found out your teacher's first name, you're like, oh, hi, Suzanne. And you're like, she's like, no, Miss Carter. And you're like, okay, Miss Carter, Suzanne, under your breath. You're like, hey, Suzanne, like that's your girl, right? But that's because your teenagers are curious. You're curious about their teachers. They're curious about you. And you're being phony. Oops, I just blew your mind again. Sorry. Don't mean to do it so many times in a row like that, but it just kind of happens. That's just how I am. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'll explain that later. I don't always know what not to say out my mouth, but it usually comes in handy, but not in the moment. Later. Got it? Okay. So, yeah, about that. You're being phony and they sense it. They know it. So when you're being active, when I say be active, be the real, authentic you with them. You can say to them, "Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying. School is messed up, but it's just the way things have to go. I need to go to work and I need you to go somewhere while I'm at work. You can't stay home. One, because I haven't given you enough information to know how to handle that situation. And I'm not ready for the things that might come out of you figuring it out on your own. I'd like to help you figure that out. And so you're leaving you at home makes me uncomfortable. So that's why I send you to school. I mean, that's kind of like the truth, right? It's very close to the truth, something like that. Anyways, I'm saying be active and help them understand life more. And you be curious about them. What do they want to learn? And then you help them unfold those situations. And then you just talk to them real. If they're curious about drugs, you'll be curious about drugs. And you say, okay, what is it about this drug? Like, let's talk about it. Oh, it does that? Okay, is that what you want to feel? Oh, and what is it about feeling that? Tell me what are you experiencing? Oh, I've not experienced that myself. Okay, and this is something that you really are looking forward to. Like, just be curious, talk to them. They love that kind of stuff, believe it or not. And the third thing that I want you to see is okay, so you got it. I just recapped. If you notice, I was like, it's not your fault. Be curious, be active. Oh, and number three, as I was saying, getting to, but that was kind of a good place to recap, right? And so number three is be peaceful. Oh my gosh. Do your kids complain and whine and dramatize everything? Where do you think they got it? Oh, some other person in the neighborhood? Or in the house, maybe? You? Yeah, they might have got it from you. You might not even be outwardly complaining because you might be one of these people that says, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Everything is fine. But what if the energy that you're sending out, oh, there I go being metaphysical again. All right, I'm going deep. Are you going with me? Let's go. What if the energy that you're sending out, that it's fine energy, again, being phony, they know it's not. And because they are still somewhat in touch with the spirit world, you haven't plucked all the spirit out of them yet, they can feel that energy. They're very in touch with that energy. And there is disconnect. And that disconnect makes them not trust you. And when they can't trust you, they're no longer going to be curious about you. They're just going to cut you off and say, nope, and I'm not doing that with you, lady. I'm not doing that with you, sir. No, I feel you. I see you. I see you. I feel you. I feel you. So why don't you just be real? And then, but in being real, when I say be peaceful, that doesn't mean you got to be phony and happy all the time. You can just say, man, I'm working through some things. Like mommy has been really stressed at work. And I'm taking it out on my loved ones, and I don't really want to do that. And I'm working through how to do that. That is a peaceful conversation. If they don't want to wear those shoes that you want them to wear, they want to wear those same the holy shoes, be peaceful and just let them wear those holy shoes. Are they going to die wearing those holy shoes? No. If it's really that important to them, let them put on those shoes with holes in them. I know it says that you're not a good parent. Society says if you let your children wear shoes with holes in them, then you're not a good parent. And I know I'm being condescending right now. I do. I know. But I want you to see how ridiculous this is. They're not going to die. And your job as a parent is to be curious, to be active in their experience. Let them feel and have the experience that they want, and to be peaceful along the way. Show them how to be peaceful. They don't have to always be happy, but these low lows and these high highs that societies have taught us that we need to feel, BS. It's just some silly belief system that oh no, if you're not really happy, then you're something's wrong with you. And what if you're just like, you know what? I just feel neutral today. I'm not feeling anything. I'm just experiencing life. Is that okay? And what if you're like, you know what? I am sad today. I'm just not feeling it. I don't really want to have a bunch of conversations. Is that okay? Right? If they're walking around your house and they're like, you know, I'm just into myself right now. I'm just feeling myself. I'm just trying to figure out me. I'm not trying to figure out you, lady, and whatever it is you doing with your life. And sir, what happening with you? Like impose that on somebody else, not me right now. I'm just doing me. Is that okay for them to be like that? Or is that a problem? And now they need to come talk to you and tell you, and you want to know, and you need to get out your room and be peaceful. Because I mean, just did you even feel that energy as I was saying that? Wow, that was not peaceful, right? It did not feel good. And that's what's going on in your household. But what if you could just be curious? Wonder, I want to know my son. I want to know him. Yeah, what is he like? I remember once a patient of mine, he said, you know, I don't think my parents like me. Broke my heart. And I said, why? He said, because they're always trying to change me. And I was like, oh, I don't think it's because they don't like you. I think it's because they have an idea of what they thought you would be like when they were like pregnant with you, and they have like all of these visions, and they're trying to make you into that vision. So it doesn't have anything to do with them not liking you as much as it has to do with them liking the vision. So I'm wondering if you can talk to them about what you like about yourself. That's what I told him. You know what I like about me? I like the way I dress. Like, I like that about myself. And it makes me feel good. And I'm going to give you some field work because I think this is important. And the first thing I want to tell you is that, mm, there we go. share, share this, share, like, follow, get notifications, all of that. That's part of your field work. And even follow me on TikTok because I'm only posting here once or twice a week. But on TikTok, I try to get there every day and we can interact a lot more there too. But if you really want to interact, then I suggest that you go to presidentiallifestyle.com/guide. That's what that GYD is pronounced, guide. Grow yourself daily. And if you go there, you'll be able to fill out the form, and I will, me personally, send you an email. I sure will. So now your real field work. Just, you might not be able to do one, two, and three. So just start with number one. Be curious. Just start by being curious. Listening. Listening is love. Let me tell you. Listen. And when you do ask questions, don't give your opinion. Don't ask a question and then say, well, you shouldn't do that. It's like, are you being curious then? No. So just listen. If you do ask questions, go deeper then. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, how did that make you feel? Or, so what was that experience like? And does that happen to you often? Oh, okay. And what do you usually do? So, what were you thinking? Was it like, Well, tell me, I'm curious. What were you thinking? You were hoping to get a certain outcome. Did you get that outcome? And when you didn't get that outcome, what were you going to do next? It's almost like you're just watching a show. Like you are in the front row for a really amazing show. You already bought the ticket, so just enjoy it. Okay? And that is our Mental Health Monday for today. I have so much more to share with you. So come back every week. Like, let's hang out. You can come for Thought Leader Thursday as well. Thought Leader Talks happen on Thursday. Starting to interview more therapists. And actually, Mental Health Monday is going to be a little different too. I have some surprises coming. So keep hanging out with me. I'm improving, I'm getting better and better. But this is where we start. And whether it's just you and me, you and I, one, two people here, or if there are like thousands and thousands of people. But oh my gosh, Jackie Pittman, hello. Have not seen you in so long. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate that compliment. So I will see you guys sooner. It has been such a good Monday already, and I'm sending you lots of light and love for your journey. And if you have any questions, you can always go to that link that I showed you, gave you. Here we go. There you go. Go there and fill out the form. There's a little spot that says anything else you want to say. Just ask your question there, and I will be with you. I'll send you an email, answer your question, and tell you how we can connect further. All right. How's that sound? Does that sound good or good? Yeah. And if you are a teenager or a young adult watching this, go ahead and share it with your parents. Okay. It'll be fine. You'll see. All right. See you sooner.